Allen, Richard Atta, Michel Ampedu, Kofi Agbesima, David Opon-Afrani, Dennis Kosa, making up the back four. Linda Mtange, Salim Adams, Glid Otanga, Yao Mankwa Befi, Kasim Sisi, and Salifu Ibrahim. So if you look at this, on any given day, Hearts of Oak has this kind of an all-star started team that should be able to win a football match at any given venue in the Ghana Premier League. You know, this guy is a former winner of the league, 2 times winner of the MTN FA Cup. So he comes into the game, Richard Atta, with so much experience. Because if you ask for experience, he's one of the experienced heads and he is one of the leaders of this current team. You look at Kofi Agbesima, former captain of Bechem United, brought to Hearts of Oak. You look at David Opon-Afrani, experienced player, had stints with the local Black Stars. Dennis Kosa, former captain of Ebusua Dwarfs. Michel Ampedu, Legon Cities. You look at Glid Otanga, you look at Salim Adams. So if you look at this team, in terms of where they stand and what they want to achieve, they can be unstoppable. It all depends on the players to be switched on and realize the badge they are playing for. I've always said this. You look at Togbe, he has provided everything for these players to be able to flourish, play well, and win laurels for the club. That's what the supporters of Hearts of Oak are yearning for. And if you have such a team with an experienced gaffer in Mr. Ouattara, it's by no means fluke that they are undefeated in the second round of the season. And if they can continue on that trajectory, Hearts of Oak should be able to cause problems in the second round of the season to any team that is being put in front of them.
No doubt about that. Yeah, the Pando boys themselves will know what's at stake. I mean, they're not naive to that. They'll know exactly what's expected of them. And that's why it will be an open game. Maybe the advantage they might think they have is they have a lot of runners who work for 90 minutes tirelessly. And if they'll listen to their coach, they might be able to unsettle the phobians, especially if they get their first goal. But they're not used to scoring a lot of goals, Bando Heart of Lions.
Especially when they travel away from home. It's always difficult for them whenever they're on the road.
That has been their bane.
Yeah, that has been their bane. But then, fortunately for them, you look at their big games against Hearts and Kotoko. So far, they've played 3. Yeah, they've won 1. They've drawn 2. So they are yet to lose in any game at all, either home or away against Hearts.
That's where the underdog psyche
exactly.
comes
So
in.
whenever and we know that long-standing history and rivalry between themselves and these two giants, Hearts of Lions and Heart of Oak, Heart of Lions and Asante Kotoko. And, you know, when these teams come up against the giant, either Hearts or Kotoko, yeah, it's extra motivation for some of these players. We saw Thomas Osei, Kwabna Osei, the goalkeeper for Heart of Lions in that game against Kotoko. See, he was at a world-class level, if you should ask me. The kind of saves, world-class saves he made in that game. And it wasn't even, you know, shocking. He was voted man of the match in that particular game. And that's where you see the best out of these players, because they know that these games are just played once in a year, twice in the season. You know, they know that these games do not come around often. So once they have the chance to prove, you know, to not just to the rivals, but then also potential suitors outside, you know, yeah, they go all out and they make sure they play above 100%. And that's what maybe we might get to see again in that game against Accra Hearts of Oak. Mind you, Heart of Lions have already, you know, they've made a trip to Kumasi, the Barbara Sports Stadium, to play against Kotoko earlier this season. And unfortunately for them, they had, you know, a goal disallowed, you know, for offside. And they know how difficult they've been whenever they come up against these top sides, or the top sides in the league. So, yeah, I'm looking at this game and I believe, see, Heart of Oak have gotten the momentum. They are playing some fine football. They are unbeaten. They have a new coach at the helm. Same as Heart of Lions, who have also gotten Bashir Hayford at the helm. And this is one of the most experienced coaches, you know, in the local terrain. And he said they're on a rescue mission. They need to save themselves. They are on a redemption mission, because the first round didn't go as planned. Now they had to change things. They had to expedite that their home stadium, that's the Kpando Sports Stadium, you know, project. They had to expedite it because they felt that there was beginning to be this, that the club was alienating itself from the Kpando community and the fans, and they had to do it quickly. And right after they did it, playing their first game over there, they won, and subsequently they've won against RTU over there. But in this, the away game that can turn your season around, and they believe that even the point in this game, could just do them so much good going forward.
Absolutely, and we know that Kumasi is one venue that the Phobians have a lot of support within the Kumasi metropolis itself. They can travel, even if they wish, from other towns and cities. That's, you know, it's just about the momentum. Win more matches, encourage your fans to travel, and we've seen them, we've heard them in their numbers in recent matches.
Yeah, you know, Hearts of Oak and Kumasi Asante Kotoko, one thing about they don't have artificial fans, they have organic fans. The fans are there. The fans stay away from the team, watch from afar, just to see how the team is playing. When the team plays well, they respond in spectacular fashion. That is how I'll say, by going to the stadium.
Shouldn't it be the other way around, regardless of how... It's a Ghanaian football fan mentality.
It's a Ghanaian... Someone doesn't want to go to the stadium and go home with a heartbreak. It's better I watch on TV and get the heartbreak rather than going to the stadium.
So the fans have a lot to learn from the European supporters.
Definitely. It's got to be all time, all season, all around the club.
Arsenal, Liverpool.
Arsenal since
Manchester
2004,
United,
they've not won the league, but anytime they play, it's a sold out. And the season Hearts of Oak came back to win the league after all that kind of doldrums, living in the wilderness under coach, the former gaffer, Samuel Buedu. Look at how the fans, even in the midst of COVID, people are breaking down the gates at Accra Sports Stadium just to gate crash and watch the game.
Which is a crime. Which we shouldn't.
Hearts of Oak versus Great Olympics, the second leg at Accra Sports Stadium was a stadium, and they said it should be about 20%. And Hearts of Oak themselves got fined after the game by the FA for not controlling the crowds at the gate. That tells you how testy people can be if the team is playing well. And if you look at the current Hearts of Oak team, even from last season, the kind of recruitment that was done, it was just a self-destructive tendencies that were able to rob the shoulders of Hearts of Oak and deny them from having a proper crack at the league. But this season, you can tell that this second round, things are good. You watch Hearts of Oak, the patterns they play, the way they approach the game. You don't see so much negativity surrounding the club these days. And that's the right thing for them. And it's up to the players now to be able to drag the fans back to the stadium to support them.
Okay, the coaches are ready. They're standing by. Let's go to pitch side and hear what they have to say.
Hi, Coach. Good evening.
Good evening.
After that disappointing result the other day here when you played Dreams FC, would you say these guys have recovered enough for today's game?
Yeah, well, I think so, because we prepared so well for this game. And even the boys, they know the task ahead of us. So I think we are very prepared.
On paper, you look favourites to win this game because Hearts of Lions are lying just one place above the drop, and you guys are favourites. Is it a thinking among the playing body and the technical team?
No, well, I don't think so, because that's exactly what we thought when we play before Tano, and everything changed, you know. So in this game, we are not seeing ourselves as favourites, you know. We are just going all out to do what we have to do and pick that possible 3 points.
It's obvious that injuries may set in, suspensions may set in, but you keep rotating your squad match after match. Ampedu is starting today. Befi has been moved up front. Opalfani returns in a long while to play in today's game. And you are playing with just one out-and-out striker in Cisse. There's no Hamza even on the bench. Isakuka is on the bench. What's the idea behind this shape of yours?
No, we didn't change anything. We are going with the same system. And Salim is going to play up front with Cisse. You know, we are going with the 4-4-2 diamond as we used to play. There's nothing has changed.
How reliable can the partnership between Salim and Cisse be? Because we all know Salim is an attacking midfielder and not a striker or a forward player.
I think you saw it last week when we played Dreams. The later part of the second half, we paired the two of them, and I think it functioned so well for us. That's why today we are trying to go with the same system.
Convince us about the fitness levels of Opalfani. He's been out in a long while. He's been winning me and Agbesi game after game. How fit is he for this one?
I think he's very ready for this game. He's very, very ready, and he's going to play. And after the game, you even tell me he's one of the best that you see today.
What should the Hearts of Oak fans expect? Because it's been one win, one draw, one defeat. You don't keep consistent winning results.
Nothing under great points.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. This game, especially after your last game where you got joints.
Well, I think everybody wants to win, and we also want to win. Just when we are lying, it's not comfortable at all. So we are expecting that we can back home.
Would you admit, for your team lies on the league table, you come into this game as the underdogs?
Yes.
everybody will look at the league table and will think that you are pushovers. That is good. So later they will see that you are not a pushover. Everybody might judge the same as the league table, suggests. But we cannot be underdogs for all the time. Sometime fine, but maybe sometime we can come up.
You've been credited with some form of resurgence for this team since you came, because they were practically not winning games, but you brought in the vibe, the winning, but it's not been on consistent basis. How do you intend to let this team rise up from where they lie on the league log?
Well, all what a doctor will do for a patient is what I'm doing. It's up to the patient to recover, Yes, we have quality players. And if you go to a place and then the boys have a quality players, you don't have a problem at all. Here, they are upcoming players that you have to inject a lot of this into them. That is exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to add to what they knew already, not starting from the scratch. And I thank God that it is yielding, a result. Only that our away matches are not favorable for us, but we'll continue to play.
What kind of opposition are you expecting from this Hearts of Oak team? They have a new coach, a new wave of confidence in the team. They play an all-out football, 2 attackers, free-flowing football. What kind of opposition are you expecting?
Well, I've watched about 2 or 3 matches, and I know there is not a team that you can joke with at all. So we are prepared for that.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Very experienced journeyman Bashir Hayfoot, and you heard what he said. A little bit of warning, not veiled. He says, yeah, they think we're underdogs, but at the end of the day, they'll find out whether or not we're underdogs. And we're also waiting to see after 90 minutes plus extra time whether or not that will be anything to take from that. 2 very confident coaches. Clearly, they're both going for the win.
Yeah, definitely. If you look at Hearts of Oak, where they are, they would love to win today. And that added incentive of leapfrogging Kumasi Asante Kotoko on the league table will add something spectacular to the feelings of their fans. And you look at Kpando Hearts of Lions at the flip side, they can feel like people are peeling away from them, other clubs, so they need to stay intact. Because if you give so much room for people to drag themselves away from you, to be extremely too late, too difficult for you to even drag yourself away from the relegation dogfight, because we are at the business end of the season, and this is where you need to grind out results. We saw how Bafokwa played against Hearts of Oak. They basically ran their socks off to be able to get that draw. And Hearts of Oak themselves know that for them to get crushed, that top 4, where you have Insra Traman, Adriana, Samatex, and then this thing, they need to play something. They need to go on a consistent kind of form to be able to get there. And it will be difficult for them if they are not able to win in consistent games. So the writing is on the wall for both teams. The season needs to start now. You need to start picking up the points, because if you don't do it now, it might come back to haunt you at the tail end of the season.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And Josiah, Hearts of Oak, 3 points is almost in the bag, but they still have to go out and work for it.
Yeah, you listened to a coach and he spoke about the fact that in that game against Stanley Bafokwa, they were a bit complacent, and that was one thing that actually, had the. If they are taking their chances after going 1 up, maybe it would have been a different narrative on that day, and maybe they would have had 2 more points to what they have already, amassed. But then they are going into this game knowing that, yes, Heart of Lions will be clear underdogs. But then also Heart of Lions are saying that they love to ride on that tag, the underdog tag, because it has always helped them. And, contrasting forms going into this particular one. But I believe it always has to do with who wants it more, who is hungrier, who is more determined to win this one. Yeah, could end up carrying the day, if you should ask me.
You had to equip them by 4 goals to 0. That was a big game there. But since then, it's been tight between the 2, draw and victory for Hearts of Lions as well. They would recall that they've also beaten the Phobians. It's not something that is impossible, so they would know it is possible. And tonight, for them, hopefully, they'll be able to stun the Phobians.
Yeah. If you look at the head-to-head, in their last 5 matches, Hearts of Lions basically won 2, drawn 2, Hearts of Oak won 1. So against Hearts of Oak and Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Hearts of Lions basically play well against the two most successful clubs on the local terrain. And this evening in Kpando, everything will come to a standstill it's the ultimate game for the local faithful. Whenever their team come crossing paths with these two huge clubs, and the players themselves know that you can become a cult hero if you play very well, because in matches like this you are under the limelight. Look at the number of eyeballs that will be glued to this particular time. Monday night kickoff, premium time. We don't have any matches rivaling this particular one. So it's a huge game. The added incentive is there for you to perform. And, you know, all the coaches, all the scouts, everybody is watching this game. Just this game can put you on that particular map to start on.
No doubt about it. Okay, so let's do this with my techno Come On 20. Now, I've seen the messages coming through, and I've got a Hearts of Oak brand new spanking jersey to give away. And, of course, it's simple, full-time scoreline prediction. I mean, it can't get any easier than that. And, of course, you could just go to Facebook and make sure you hashtag the Star Times and also King Yao Ampofo. Very simple, King Yao Ampofo on Facebook, or at King Yao Ampofo on Instagram. And I've seen some messages already. I don't know if we have time, director, to go a couple of names. Nanaya Asante Phoebe says 2-1 against Lions. And Sami Black says 2-0 in favor of the Phobians. Everybody's predicting for the Phobians. Let's go live now to the Baba Yara Sports Stadium.
The Ghana Premier League comes alive once again from the Baba Yara Sports Stadium for match day 22, and it's Hearts of Oak who have adopted Kumasi's Baba Yara Sports Stadium as their venue for at least the remaining league games till the Accra Sports Stadium is suitable and ready for their return, because the venue is currently being used for the African Games. They are up against Bando Heart of Lions this evening here in Kumasi. The Phobians last time played here, and it was a 2-0 drawn game against Dreams FC. They were left disappointment because in their minds they had to go through some, officiating in the game that didn't really suit them. That is behind them, according to Coach TJ. And for Heart of Lions, they must do all they can to